Was lucky to grow up in a horse-dense area, but with parents who honestly are terrified of horses. But grew up in a time that I could get off the school bus and walk to a barn and cert myself. Worked a lot to pay off lessons and that sort of thing. So that's kind of how I got into horses. And then I was a science nerd, so becoming a veterinarian was kind of a natural course. AAEP puts a lot of work into doing strategic planning every couple of years and making sure that we are kind of course correcting as we go. So, my blanket answer is certainly just to, support the strategic mission of the AAEP and kind of, I hate to say it, but be the figurehead. I think kind of my personal passion, I would say, like within that strategic plan. So for those who don't study the strategic plan daily, we kind of have 3 buckets within there. So it's, the profession, the horse, and then education. And I think all of those things obviously are super important to me and resonate with me, but I think where I sit both in my day-to-day job as well as a little bit kind of that generational aspect is kind of sitting in between a lot of our different members. And so I think really that's kind of my area within the strategic plan is to really work on that member engagement and making sure that all of our members, whether young, old, academia, private practice, wherever they're coming from, feel like they're part of AAEP and that their voice is being heard. AAEP has so many ways of helping its members, and I think one of our many struggles that we have is communication. I think once upon a time it was how do you get messages out widely? Now we struggle arguably with there's too many ways to get messaging out, and whether that's email, text message, social media, whatever it might be. So I think we just need to do a better job or find other ways of communicating all that, because I think a lot of people, honestly, right or wrong, do think of AAEP as convention. AAEP is convention, CE, and that's the primary. And certainly that is a huge, huge part of what AAEP has to offer. But I think a lot of it is that sense of community. So, hopefully, again, meeting people that if you are a solo practitioner, you can reach out to, whether that's case advice, life advice. So I think the community aspect of it is huge. The advocacy aspect is probably the least sexy, maybe, portion of AAEP. Being a member of AAEP and supporting AAEP as a professional organization allows us to then represent all equine veterinarians at whether that's legislative levels and whatnot to try and make sure that our voice is being heard by the people that are making rules in other places. We can't always control that, but we can at least have a consolidated voice if it's coming from us. It's a lot of member volunteers. We're lucky to have amazing staff, but I think it's that just reach out to any one of us. If you feel like you've been left out of a conversation or you weren't aware of something or something just didn't kind of land right the way it was delivered to you, please just reach out to any of us, because again we're really trying to make this a profession that everybody feels a part of and is proud to be a part of and feels that engagement.